it going this morning, guys? How's everybody doing? Crazy overnight. So hopefully somebody paid attention to what we were saying yesterday with the turnaround. Obviously did not think it was going to jump that high overnight. Expected a little bit more of a build-up. Through the today, I thought was going to happen. So that said, I'll probably take off quite a few of my bullish trades early this morning, and reason being, and I'll post this over in Discord too. Remember, guys, there is quite a few numbers coming out this morning, about 4 different ones that can really move things around. They already put up the private payroll numbers, which were really bad, but it's not a big metric that the market really looks to for any kind of direction. So yeah, so there's going to be a lot of swinging and chop around these numbers coming out. Obviously, the time that these headlines were put out, the algos have kind of already probably done most of what they're going to do. So now it's going to take over with big money trying to move stuff further up, which I could see a bit of a climb up out of the gate. But again, when some of these economic numbers drop today, I don't see them all being good. Maybe that's not true, but I think they're going to bounce around quite a bit out of the gate, or after the open. Sorry. So some of the news that we're looking at overnight. Japan's parliament approved a trade deal with U.S. I actually did a little bit of research on this, and it's going to be a little while before any of that kind of circulates and hits any kind of numbers or anything like that to move the market whatsoever on this news. Just something to kind of keep in the background. Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM, they reported after the bell last night. Earnings topped estimates, but the forecast disappointed. Salesforce sees fourth quarter adjusted EPS of 54 cents to 55 cents, while Wall Street estimates were 61 cents. So it was just a little bit off there, but their sales actually were up year over year, but then their outlook came in shy of the consensus views. Wasn't a lot of direction as to why, just a lot of the same stuff that we've been seeing from retail with, numbers down and stuff like that. So the Dow jumps 100 points pre-market on fresh trade deal hopes. Stocks in the United States rose in pre-market trading on Wednesday after reports emerged the United States and China are nearing an agreement on canceling some tariffs on each other's goods and reaching a phase 1 trade deal. So those tariffs were supposed to go in to effect on the 15th. As we were kind of saying yesterday, we kind of expected something similar to this because, as I said, I read those the statements that Trump had put out, and nothing he said was like a definite, this is off or that. It was kind of and as they call it, off the cuff, which I hate when they take those comments because this is the wild swings we get in the market that throws off especially a lot of new traders, and if you're not hedged both ways, it's really going to throw you off. So I can understand how frustrating it can be, but this is why Darth and I keep pushing hedging to each side no matter what. Yeah, of course I'm always a little bit more biased one way, well, not always, but you know what I mean. I'm either neutral, up or down, but like I always hedge to those other degrees. Neutral I hedge, and I hedge bullish or bearish because of this exact reason. And if you do it enough duration, you're able to catch those moves like I was able to yesterday and then Monday with my downside hedges. Private payrolls, like I said, were up 67,000 in November versus 125 expected. Some of the other stuff. So yeah, DT is right. World leaders are meeting for our second day at NATO. Trump met with Germany's chancellor also on her own private meeting, and then he'll be with the rest of them. Saw some comments come out this morning, kind of made me laugh, but he was kind of angry with Trudeau from Canada kind of talking crap after, and I know that's how they all are, two-faced, and so I wasn't surprised, but I just thought it was good actually of our president to kind of call him out on it, because they had seen some videos circulating of them like laughing at his expense or whatever it said. So just kind of something to keep in the back of mind, that there's a lot of tension, not just with our, with Russia, China, and North Korea. So then I also saw the North Korean stuff came out about, was it last week, the week before, they had been shooting some missiles again, and then now it's coming out that Kim Jong-un was very angry with some of the comments that Trump had made. So there's that also. And then some of the big news for some of the stuff that we watch, that I watch in particular, Google. Yesterday I posted this in the Discord. I think this will come into play in the next few weeks, but Google founders stepped down from Alphabet, and stock actually rose about 1% after market yesterday after they announced this. Reason being is that Larry Page has been very distant in the company of lately, and so with them taking so basically, if you don't understand what it is Google and Alphabet are the same company, right? The parent company is Alphabet. They actually were two almost separate entities sort of at a point. And so they each had separate CEOs, and that's not why there's two Google stocks. Like there's GOOGL and GOOG. That is completely different thing, and I'll get into that one of these days to kind of explain. Google is one of those things that's so hard to play anyway because it's so expensive. I mean, obviously it's the only why I play options on it. I would never try to play the actual stock, but yeah. So what they're doing is now that the CEOs are stepping down, they will actually have Sundar, was the president of Alphabet, will now be the president of Google, or the CEO of Google and Alphabet, and they will eliminate the president title because it was kind of a joke title anyway. So that is actually a good thing. That's going to cut millions of dollars out of their budget right away because they only have to pay one of them. However, the founders still remain in control of the stock. Which is a good thing too, so that way they kind of stay the way they have been, somewhat, but with more money. So that's good on both sides. So that'll be something I'll bring up. You guys will see in the next few days and weeks. I'll be talking about, because I think this is something significant for Google to kind of move that next leg up. There's some other smaller earnings. Campbell's Campbell Soup earnings. Couple that coming in, I can never remember their name with the Z. Nothing really important, but oil inventories will be really important numbers. The PMI numbers will be really important today. Like I said, a couple of these come out early, so that will really be kind of weighing on the market really hard here at the open. So you guys, again, same thing as always, really watch the chop out of the gates here. What I do expect to happen today is with everything, the kind of this bounce was totally anticipated. I set up for it. We gave everybody fair warnings Monday and yesterday, especially yesterday. Even I came back on yesterday towards the end of the close, purely just to kind of set up what I was seeing with this bounce up. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is I think with the algos running, and it could possibly lead to a short squeeze, and if that does, this could go parabolic real quick. That to me is actually the lesser probability right now. Pessimism is at an all-time high, so I probably see a lot of, again, chop, and then when those numbers come out, as they each drop, we'll probably see some spikes up and down. So I may try to scalp off of a couple of those if I can. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to take any big positions right away. I will probably wait to see what the market wants to do as far as direction and single name stuff. So looking at our futures, market is up at 3106.75, up about 15, almost $16. XLF has been selling off this morning, now down to about 29.64. So that is something to keep an eye out on. That is normally a bearish signal. The bonds have been selling off somewhat, decent since yesterday here. So they're down now back to a 159.11. They actually had rocketed yesterday, so that was crazy. Gold is way down too, back down to about a 14.82. Oil, with all the production news and stuff going on, it is catching a nice little bit up here, already up almost 3% this morning, up to 57.83. So that is also significant to keep an eye on. So I'll be watching the bonds. I will be watching oil. XLF and probably the FANG stocks, and then I will be paying attention to some of the Momo stuff for trades. So, Roku, Baba. I'll probably be watching Facebook, Apple, Google, and I will probably particularly, I may be watching Starbucks, I like, and Home Depot. Beyond is getting interesting to me, but a lot of these, they have a little bit of room. They need to, kind of catch a little bit of a direction. So I'll go over that after the market kind of gets going. Man, I'm having the weirdest issue this morning. Look at this. It's like these pages are blank for no reason. I'm sure you guys normally know what these all look like. This is weird. Yeah, it's like the only one that's there are these two. Let me see if I can drop this back down. Super strange. Yeah, that one's fine. Huh. Very, very weird. Yeah. So Apple is moving up pretty good here, pre-market too, so that's good to see. Be watching this, see if it can get a little retest. What I'd like to see on Apple, especially on the 4-hour, is it needs to get over this lower Celt, and then it needs to hold the lower Celt on the daily. If it loses this, I could see a little bit of a flush down. And I think a lot of the market is hanging on this Apple right now. I mean, when this dropped like this, there was no way the market was going to pull back up because a lot of the FANG stocks have just not been pulling their weight as usual. So, and with XLF down this morning, that could be significant as well, guys. So, I am going to grab another cup of coffee, and then I'll be back on in just 2 minutes. So we'll get ready here. You guys get stretched, get ready, get some trade ideas going, and we'll get going here in just a couple minutes, guys. glad that worked. That was driving me absolutely crazy. God, that was so weird. Starting off with a nice positive 1157 on the add divergence line. That is great to see. So I'm thinking we'll get a little bit of a pull down here, and then possibly it might rip back up higher. That's what I'm hoping to see here. So we will see. Yeah, watch out for the chop, guys. It's gonna get a little crazy, a little choppy here, I think. So here's those pull downs, like I was saying, and then I expect a nice big. So this is what I'm anticipating. I'm thinking we'll get this pull down, and then we might get a kind of shake the weak hands, as I always say, and then might get a nice rip back up here. So not too unexpected so far. I do want to check in with some of my other numbers here. How is everything doing so far? So let's check in on the FANG stocks. So most of the FANGs up about 0.5%. Selling off just a little bit here out of the gate, as expected. I think that might go on for a little bit here out of the gate, maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I would expect to see a nice pick up. So shop up again this morning. Nvidia running into resistance on the 30 MA there on the 4-hour and starting to fade off. Tesla also with heavy resistance on the middle Celt there on the 4-hour. BABA still trapped under that upper Celt now. From yesterday, it ran right into that. If it can break that, that would be a bullish signal for me on the 4-hour for BABA to get long there. So that'll be watching that closely as well. Add divergence line continuing to go up. We're at a 1233. The ticks are. It's hard. It takes a little bit for these. That's the only thing about this is the first few minutes. But as you can watch here, that's why we have these on our charts. So that's nice. That's looking good and bullish still so far. And the VIX is slightly elevated off of that drop out of the open. But with the divergence line going up, so expect to see this go down a little bit, and then might try to catch that up. So. That is my idea here this morning. Yeah, ticks are just going right up, and add divergence line is continuing to climb up. Expect it to push down a little bit, and then hopefully I can get into this position. It keeps pushing me back out. And you can see on our add divergence line there continuing to go up. We're at a 1318. Dang, I may have missed my entrance on that. Dang it. I might have to cancel that then. I was trying to get into some SPY and SPX positions, but may have missed my entrance there. I barely just missed it by about $5. Still getting a nice climb. The ticks are pretty much straight up. The VIX now dropping below a 15. Ad divergence line continuing to rise at a 1382. That nice big candle there. I might take some of my positions off here. Man, I just barely missed that. Oh, that makes me angry. Wow, those ad divergence lines and ticks are just going straight up as that VIX is just plummeting back down. Already down about 6.5%. Let's check in on some of our other names here. Let's see on our futures. So the bonds not selling off as hard as I thought. Gold is selling off pretty hard this morning. The FANG names are still just kind of pointing down, except for Google and Apple. Amazon starting to rise pretty decent too, but Google already up $21, so 1.6%. Shop just absolutely ripping again, already up almost 3% again this morning. Just what a crazy ride from yesterday. Wow, Shop is just nuts lately. Nvidia not selling off as hard as I was thinking it was going to. The semis might be saved a little bit right now, so that's good to see. And Bob is starting to push up over that upper Celt, so that's good to see as well. All right, I got out of a couple of my SPY and SPX calls. I will see if I can get a nice dip out of this, and then pick up some more is my plan. So we'll see what happens here this morning. So already really nice gains from yesterday. So I'm glad I had those positions, because I tried to get back in, and as you guys heard me, I completely missed the opportunity. Just whoa, sorry. Ripped right past me. Damn it. That's all right. I'll take it. I will take what I got already, but see if I can't get something maybe on the dip down here. Oh man, that was crazy. Dang it. Barely missed it. Oh, you missed it too? Oh, damn, man. I'm sorry. Same boat. Dude, it was crazy. It was just moving too fast. I tried to get in, and it was just like... And I mean, I had it right there, and it hit, but like the spread was $20 wide on SPX, so it completely missed. And that's why I hate SPX. I think it's great when you catch it, but when you miss, man, oh my gosh, it is horribly painful to watch. Oh. And remember, guys, this 31.10.25 area is major previous resistance, so it should struggle around here. But if it does break out off of this, that will be a sellers in control, absolutely in control here. And just as a note, you guys, S&P's opened with a $1 billion flow index inflow. So that is significantly bullish as well to be aware of today. Our divergence line hit a high of 15.14, so we're kind of stuck around there, but ticking nice and up here. Again, this level, this 1310, guys, is going to be a significant level of resistance. But if we can push past that, we could get a nice run. But this is going to be we're going to probably be fighting around this level for a while, and especially when those numbers drop in and out, that's where we're going to get these big swings. Check in on some of our other names here, see how the fangs are doing. Wow, Netflix just really starting to sell off there. It had been up pretty good pre-market, but it's already down. Now it's down technically $1.93, but it's already down, what is that, $5, $6. Facebook kind of losing its pre-market gains as well. Apple starting to push back up. Google giving back some of those early morning push gains. Amazon starting to push up nicely, and Microsoft is are just about to lose its pre-market gains as well. Shopify coming back a little bit. If it could retest that upper Celt on the 4-hour, I would love to get in, but it's already pretty extended over the last couple of days. But it was so strong in the face of the weak market yesterday. So Roku finding support there on the lower Celt on the 4-hour, so that is good for Roku. If it breaks that, we could see a little bit of a sell down to maybe that 132.40 level. Otherwise, I'd like to see it hold this and then maybe get in to go to that 154 middle Celt on the 4-hour. And Tesla continuing to keep selling off a bit here this morning. And McDonald's trying to get, there's so much resistance right now on that middle Celt 14 and 30 all lining up right there for McDonald's. However, if it can get over that and hold it, that is going to be major support. AMD also is kind of stuck in this weird spot right now. It's got that middle Celt as acting resistance, but as it's sitting right now, it's got the 14 and 30 as support. So I don't see it falling too much farther. So hopefully it can maybe catch a bounce with the market itself. So that'll be interesting to see what we can have there. Still ticking really strong this morning. Everything ticking up quite strong. And the ad divergence still staying up in the 1500, so that is pretty significant as well there. So hard to get long at this position where I'm at now, you guys, because what I'm seeing here is that even though the ticks are nice and strong and the ad divergence is staying up there, it's that level I keep bringing up, that 1310. It's the exact level is 1310.25, but 1310 or 31.13. Yeah, I wish 3110. So much resistance there, but if it can get above that, that's where we could see that big short squeeze and that parabolic run up. So that's what I'll be watching for this morning for sure. VIX is down about 7.3%. Netflix down about 0.71%. Tesla down 0.62%. Bonds and gold down about 0.3, 0.26. And beyond just down ever so lightly. On my watch list on the positive side, Shop is up 3.3%. Skyworks is up 1.8 already this morning. HP up 1.73. Nvidia up 1.5%. And Google up 1.4%. And Cat and Roku up about 1% each also. Twitter is also up 1%. And Apple, Target right behind there. So Boeing starting to push up as well. So that pretty bullish look so far this morning. Little bit of a pullback there and just kind of hanging out now. The ad divergence are down to 1497. The VIX is kind of staying around this 1478 level as we continue to tick up. You can see here the S&Ps are starting to kind of turn down. That would be expected. I'm thinking maybe a slight pullback and then that next leg up. It really will need to break this 1310 level and hold it. That will be a absolutely critical point this morning. So that is what I've got my eyeballs on. On a completely separate note, I am extremely excited about the new James Bond movie. Sorry, I did. They released the trailer today, and I've been retweeting it, and I put it on all my devices. I'm a huge James Bond dork. That's one of my weird little things. U.S. Services PMI November 51.6, estimated 51.6, previous 51.6. Composite PMI 52, previous 51.9. So literally like completely perfectly in line. So it's Daniel Craig again in this one. The cool thing is I'm not sure if he's the main villain, but one of the main villains is Rami Malek from Mr. Robot, and he just looks rad as the villain. Like in the couple clips they have, I was so excited when I was super excited when I found out he was in it. But when I saw the clip of him in it, I got super excited. DT, what are you talking about on the tick? What's different or confusing you? So this tick should be the same one that me and ATG have shared with everybody, the script force. That should all be the same to everybody else. This is completely different. This is like these are all four markets separated, and then it's like the full numericals. I'm actually going to do a little lesson on this and share this. Me and Darth are going to make a section in the Discord where we can share our scripts for people, but I want to be able to explain it so people that understand. So nice, dude. Me too. I just finished season 4 on my road trip back this weekend. It was amazing, man. Season 4 was crazy. So here's that level. We're breaking it right now. So if we can squeeze up here, this is where we could. This is where things could get really interesting, guys. Is this level? We're really at a critical point here. Man, they really are going to fight for this level today, guys. I think that's what we're going to see is just a huge amount of a lot of pushback as we get around this level, unless we can break it here. So that's what I shall be watching. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, what is that movie called, dude? It was super good. Yeah, it was like one of those super weird movies. He has a bunch of weird movies like that. Oh, dude, I know exactly. Well, I haven't thought about that. What is that? Yes, I know what you're talking about. So, ticking up pretty good here. The add divergence line hitting a high of 1533. If we can hold this push up here, this is where we could start to get a nice squeeze up. That is definitely something I'll be looking for here. So. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Yep, that's what it was. So now if we can get this 3110 to hold as support and start getting this nice big push up, that's what I'm really hoping for here. That's what I'm banking on. So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to really need to hold this there. Wow, why did it just fill all those? That was weird. It's been filling my positions really slow. Yesterday, too, it's like it would only fill a couple and then the other. That was strange. It finally filled everything. Huh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, I don't. I'd like to see a nice big push up here. Oh, man. I'm beat. So here's that push up. We'll see if I can hold this up here. The divergence line hitting a high of 1607. Continuing to tick up as the VIX drops. This is pretty bullish. This is where we could see a really big push here. I don't know if this will hold though, but it'll be interesting to see. So I've got a couple runners going, guys, but I'm out of most of my bullish positions here. From yesterday, they were 300%, and today about, what is that, 100, 150, 70. And then I'm still, so I had that losing trade on Tesla yesterday, small little loser. I took a small position, should have cut it earlier. And then, so for the last the last 5 trades, 4 out of 5. So that's pretty good this week. I took most of Monday off because I was traveling. So, and I mean, that's pretty good. I trade less. That's my whole thing is trade less, trade better, right? So I think a lot of people over trade is a huge issue. So we're continuing to push up here. This is that squeeze I was talking about. So it's really, really pushing up here pretty strong. So divergence line continuing to push up, hitting a high of 1649. The VIX is down 9.4% at about a 1444. We're continuing to tick up and push up here as we're just trying to get this nice grind up. The market is up 0.8% here. Let's check in with some of the other names. So the bonds continuing to sell off, with gold also continuing to sell off here. Facebook starting to push back up, as well as Netflix after a significant little push down there. Apple slowly grinding up, about up to $2.20. Google up about 1.5%, up about $20, so that's pretty good on Google. Amazon starting to push up nicely, and Microsoft starting to come back alive. It seems like the market is all kind of coming back alive here. Shop just killing it once again today, up $12.50 at 3.58%. Nvidia kind of just hanging out there with resistance on the 30, on the 4-hour. Roku continuing to hold that support on the lower Celt. And Tesla still continuing to sell off a bit here this morning. BABA is now over the upper Celt. That's getting interesting to me. AMD kind of, again, just kind of stuck in this no man's land this morning. And Disney finding support on the 30-hour as well. So NASDAQ is up 58.43. The Dow is up. So they're all up around, about in correlation somewhat around the same. So that's pretty good here. TT. Breaking news to Union Pacific has cut guidance. That's interesting. I'll have to look more into that when I get a chance here. And then Expedia actually up quite a bit today. I did not even see that this morning. So our add divergence line hitting a high of 1672. That is very, very, very strong. Yeah, so this is a point, guys, where I'd be watching out because now if you hadn't already been in things from yesterday or right away from the open, to go long here, I mean, we're already up, $23 on weeks where our average true range has dramatically dropped at these highs, right? Duh, that's a pretty obvious, right? But this is really hard risk to reward for me to get long here. I mean, scalping is one thing, but especially trying to build small accounts and stuff, you've got to be super, super careful here and weigh those risks to rewards. Now, there might be some outliers, that were slight divergences where they haven't quite moved up with the market or not. But as far as risk to reward, there is so much more downside now than upside. Now, I do think we'll continue to, maybe tick up higher here today. But I wouldn't expect a giant rip up unless some of these numbers come out that are just absolutely outstanding. I have a feeling that some of them are going to be a little bit low, and those will start to get some swing spikes around up and down. So ISM non-manufacturing PMI 53.9 versus 54.5 forecast. That is so. As I speak, the devil. That's funny. Literally as I spoke. So there you go. That's not too bad, but so the U.S. and China are moving closer to agreeing on the amount of tariffs that would be rolled back. Phase 1. So that's not too bad on the ISM non-manufacturing, 53.9 versus 54.5. I mean, that's not good by any means, but it's not as bad as I was expecting. Whoa, that was weird. Guys, I need to take a call with a student. Actually, it's the best student. So I'm not going to name. There's a couple people in the Discord that have been reaching out over the last couple months, and I'm really impressed with one of them. The one I'm most impressed with, we just correspond because I know he writes English very well, but he's one of our guys that's over in Northern Europe. I'm super impressed with him. But this other guy's been, it's funny, he calls me once a day to check in and gives me the full rundown. Both of them do that technically. It's just, it's good to see some commitment here. But the guy that I have to take the phone call with, he's at work. And he has to sneak away to the bathroom to do all these numbers. And apparently he has his laptop like hidden under with his other computer on his workstation. I love the commitment there. I hope he doesn't get fired. But so give me just a few minutes. I'll still be on here. Obviously, I just got to go over some stuff with him. And then maybe if things slow down a little bit here, we'll maybe look at some possible swing trades for today into tomorrow kind of thing. I know it's a little bit early, but I might have some trouble later today to get back on towards close. Hopefully I'll be able to, but we'll see. So I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. Thanks. How's it going, guys? Pretty much chopping around like we thought. Sorry, it took a little bit longer. He had a bunch of open small trades, and I was trying to kind of a good lesson there. I was trying to get him to understand, guys, that's one of the big things is trade less, trade better. I know I say that a lot, but that I really mean that. So, pretty much what we expected. Our divergence line kind of just rounding out here after the high of 1726. Still at 1368, which is extremely bullish. I'd like to see it. So above 500, good day. Above 1,000 is amazing. So this is absolutely phenomenal. Just like I was thinking, this level, is going to act as resistance probably the majority of the day here. This 3116. If we can get over that, we got a nice run probably to 3120, 3125, somewhere in there. As long as we hold above this 3110, 3111, I do not see any reason for not having a continuation into tomorrow. Obviously, news aside and catalyst aside. The VIX is still holding up at about a 14.38, so did not drop significantly as much as I thought it would. Yes, it's down 9%, but it's the VIX. It can do 10% in 5 minutes. So that's definitely something to watch the rest of today. It is ticking pretty much straight across. You can see we had that nice big push in the morning, and then it's just kind of following. Just following the market, basically exactly the same, following the ad divergence line. So everything in pretty good correlation. All the markets are very good correlation today. The Dow is like 0.66, NASDAQ 0.5, and S&P 0.65. So things are very, very well correlated this morning. I was just checking in on the futures. You can see the bonds there in the right lower corner selling off significantly again this morning. So very, very bullish still in the short term here. Gold sold off pretty well down, but then kind of caught a little bit of a bid there in the last half hour. XLF just ripping up about 1% already now from open. So like I was saying before, market, it was down quite a bit, and now we got this nice big push up. So that is also another bullish catalyst, and also oil continuing to go up. We're already up 4.2% on oil. That is a very good day for oil. I'm not too used to seeing that lately. Checking on our FANGs here. Facebook giving back its a little bit of gains that it had there. Netflix just could not break over that 305 and hold it, so it is still sitting at a bearish scenario. Apple pushing up pretty good here, pretty much holding up a lot of the market as well as Google. Amazon and Microsoft's giving back most of its gains from this morning. So Apple and Google definitely Apple, Google, and XLF, along with oil and the bond sell-off. All of those together are very bullish catalysts and scenarios. And then seeing the our indicators with the ticks, ad divergence lines, and overall sentiment up pretty well. So Shop continuing to just absolutely rip this morning, up 4.75% here, hitting a high of 367.91. Boeing did start to move up a little bit, but it kind of gave back those gains. Roku did find support on the lower Kel, and now it's starting to push up, still up about 2.25%. I'd like to see that at least hit the middle Kelt today for a bullish scenario, which would be 154.92-ish area right in there on the 4-hour. Activision catching support on the 4-hour on the 14 MA and middle Kelt. And Tesla just continuing to slowly bleed off a little bit here, as well as NVIDIA. As far as the Chinese stocks, Baba and Baidu both just kind of just was very slight gains, but both Baba had gotten above the upper Kelt, but was not able to hold that. So I would expect maybe a possible a little bit of selling here, a little bit of profit taking on Baba. Baidu, if it can continue to push up here, I'd like to see it hit that probably about 117 today would be nice. And AMD coming back to life, holding support over that middle Kelt now, up about 1.8%. And Qualcomm up about 65 cents. Really needs to get above that lower Kelt, also on the daily, and I will bring that up maybe later. Disney holding support on the 30 MA on the 4-hour, and McDonald's still massive resistance, as I pointed out earlier. all kind of correlating at once, the 14, the 30 MAs, and middle Kelt on the 4 hour. So yeah, so right now it looks like oil, XLF, Apple, and Google are significantly holding up the market here, as the others just kind of slowly sell off a little bit with some profit taking. So as to be expected. As far as the direction for the rest of today, I think we'll probably chop around depending on some of the other numbers that come out. I think there's one more this afternoon or two more. I can't remember. I think one more. I'll look here in a second. So yeah, probably chop around in this area, kind of range driven between, I'm going to say 31.10 and 31.16. We break below that and hold that, I could see us going back down to probably 31.05. If we can break above 31.16 and hold that with a confirmed high, I'd like to see 31.20, 31.25. So definitely following exactly as anticipated the plan. I will post that chart hopefully tonight that I've been working on for the last week with this exact scenario and the next couple of steps. And I'm definitely seeing 31.30, 31.70, and then 3,200 on the table. I really think by January we could see 3,200. And that's when I would expect the big downturn and profit taking from there, like significantly down, not 1%. I'm thinking like 5 to 10%. And I'll get more into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself and get anybody front running on that, but I'll try to post that stuff later today. So hope everybody's doing well. I will continue to stream for a little bit longer. I do have a meeting in about an hour. And then I will try to get back on by the end of the day. I may not do it, so if not, we will do something off hours today for sure. I just kind of wanted to go over some more hedging stuff as we get back up into these highs again. I really think that you guys have definitely seen the significance and the success of the hedges that Darth and I have been pushing so hard over the last month. But I think we're going to do like a full like hour or two like class type thing where I would like to get as many people as possible from the group in there to go over that stuff and really go over hedging with spreads so that they're cheaper, but that they will absolutely work probability wise as we get into these higher highs. Because if this market starts hitting new highs, that's when we're going to want to start hedging with really low risk. And as of right now, I see a lot of potential downside, a lot less upside. It's going to be a slow grind up. We know how fast and volatile it can drop, but so yeah, so that's where I'm sitting right now. I am going to finish up on some of these charts and look through my trades, and then maybe look at a few things I'll be looking at for swings. Other than that, yeah, you guys just make sure you watch the chop and be careful of the swings on a couple of these numbers. I will try to look them up real quick and see what time it was because I can't remember when they come out. All right, guys, I'm gonna look through a couple things here as we're going in there. So pessimism still at an extreme on the euphoria index. I know you guys don't probably understand what that means. All to know is that the sellers are trying extremely hard here to get this thing to push back down. But if they're not able to do that here within the next probably, well, where's my forecast? So 30 minutes, which I don't see that happening. I expect, to continue to chop around. If this thing does start to push up harder, we could see a really significant squeeze into the afternoon. I'm anticipating a little bit of a grind up, but I don't think we're going to get the big squeeze yet. It may run after hours tonight. I don't know. We'll have to see kind of where it pushes down towards the afternoon. No matter what happens with me today, after I'm going to end the stream here shortly, but later today, I will definitely be posting in Discord to let you guys know what I think, where we're headed and what we're going to do. And I will try to get some of that stuff up tonight. If not, definitely we will do it tomorrow, because I want to give you guys time before the weekend, not only to position yourselves, but to also have the weekend to really think about what I'm saying, go over some of the stuff that I'll be putting out. And then I think Darth is also going to do a couple, at least one lesson for sure. He's having issues obviously with internet in Australia right now, but so we'll see what we can do there. So as I'm saying this, you can see the ticks starting to push back up again here, and starting to hit highs of the day now at 31.1750. So there's going to be a lot of fighting in this area, but as the VIX is starting to drop significantly here, we could get that push up to 31.20, 31.25 like I was saying this morning. So that's where I'm kind of looking at. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, hit me up in the Discord. I will be on as usual, so I will talk to you guys here in a little bit, and for sure get back to you guys in Discord. So yep, have a good day, you guys. Be careful, watch this chop, and we'll talk about some possible swing trade ideas later this afternoon in Discord. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.